Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Lizzie. I love this question because it's very practical. Lizzie wants a practical explanation behind what we're talking about here. And I do too, I agree. There's no point in talking about this stuff if it isn't practical and simple and helps us in some way. So Lizzie says, you say that we experience the world through our thinking. I get that in theory, but how does that help me? I know that I think I'm pissed off by certain things if I'm in the type of mood where things like that will affect me. Or maybe things like that will always affect me if there are enough things like that, regardless of my perceived mood. But how does it help me to know that? So I want to hone in on the part of your question, Lizzie. It's a great question. Again, we experience the world through our thinking. So what? How does that help me to know? And people will often ask this in a way that says, I can't control my thinking, which is, as far as I can see, absolutely right. We can't control our thinking. So what good is it to know that we're experiencing life through thought if we can't control thought either, if we have no say in how it's showing up? Okay, so let me first clarify, and I'm doing this based on the second part of your question. When we say that we experience the world through thought, through our thinking, what that means, or what I mean by that anyway, is that thought is what creates the world. This is maybe more extreme than how you were seeing it. I don't know, but you check that for yourself and see. Thought creates the world. Thinking creates everything. You can never, ever, ever see anything outside of thought. You never have, you never will. None of us can or will, ever. So that's big. That's really huge. That means you aren't seeing life as it is. There is no life as it is. There's no such thing. What would that be? We have, well, I mean, in our experience anyway, there's 8 billion consciousnesses out there. There's consciousness filtered through 8 billion supposedly separate people out there. There is no as it is, because everyone is seeing through thought. Even as I say that is me making a lot of concessions that there are these separate people and consciousness filtered and all of that. But it's bigger than it seems, Lizzie. Everything, let's just stick with you. Everything that you experience ever, forever, always have, always will, is filtered and is created truly through thought. That means you've never seen a person for who and what they are. There is no who and what they are. You've never seen a person without your own thinking bringing them to life. You have never experienced an event. You've never experienced a circumstance. You've never experienced anything outside of the creative nature of your own thinking. And our own thinking is super creative, super, super creative. The whole thing is a creative process. I don't like the word filter, but it's a good metaphor. And I don't like the word filter because it sort of implies that there's a solid thing out there that then gets just filtered through our thinking. I don't know about that. I don't know that that's the case. I think it's created here, not just filtered. But just for the sake of metaphor, if we want to say it's filtered through thinking and everything always is and always has been, I mean, imagine, I was just playing with some of the filters on here before I started, and I don't think I can put a filter on now. I'm not going to try. But if you saw me through a really crazy filter, everything would look really different. There might be some part of you that says, oh, there's Amy answering my question, but everything else would look different. It would give you a different feel. It would be different. That's the power of a filter. We aren't seeing things clearly, directly, objectively, ever. It's literally impossible. Everything is seen through thought. And to your question, by thought, we mean through moods, through conditioning, through our biology, through the effects of what we saw 5 minutes ago. So something beautiful happened 5 minutes ago, everything else looks different. You just turned on the news 5 minutes ago and saw a bunch of political ads, everything else looks different. We are not seeing anything ever. It's not even possible to see anything ever as it is, because there is no as it is. There is only thought creating life all around us. And thought creating life all around us we're not in control of that. We can't make it be any different than it is. But we can know that it's thought. We can know that we're seeing a filter. You know, the movement of people, I don't know, celebrities, I guess, influencers, maybe celebrities, I guess, talking about how things are photoshopped and filtered and drawing attention to that. Well, that's helpful because it's helpful. It's helpful because it shows us, oh, I'm not supposed to look like that. No one looks like that. She doesn't even look like that. He doesn't even look like that. That's a filter. It's fake. It's not. It's doctored. That is not as it really is. Well, take that. That's just one little example of something that people find a lot of peace. It's very helpful for us to know that what we're seeing here on social media all over the place is not the truth. It's a doctored version of something. That is super helpful. Now amplify that, expand that out to everything you've ever thought and felt and seen your entire life and ever will. It's all doctored. It's all filtered. There is no how it is. It is incredibly creative, and again, colored by your mood and what happened a minute ago, and how hungry you are, and how tired you are, and what your dad said to you when you were 3. All of that. Now, why is that helpful? For me, it's incredibly helpful because I don't take it seriously. I don't believe it. I don't think it's true. If I think Kim Kardashian really looks like that, I might be prone to think I should also look like that, or that I could also look like that. I don't think that. It's not really an example that's all that relevant, but it's an example that might resonate with people. So same here, right? It's like if we know, no, this is filtered, this is doctored, this is the creative process of thought coming up, making things look the way they look. It's not that, it's here. That's huge because 1, we don't take it so seriously. 2, we don't take it personally. Part of the filter, part of the creative process of all of this is that it's all coming up as it's coming up. Our mind makes everything about us. So that is part of this creative process, is everything comes up and is shown to us and is seen by us, and it all somehow relates back to us in our heads. But in reality, I don't know what reality is, but it doesn't really, you know what I mean? Not everything revolves around you. Not everything revolves around me. Nothing does. So that is part of it also. So nothing's personal. We don't have to take it so seriously. It isn't as it appears. It isn't that thing. So when it looks like it's that thing or that person or that circumstance that made you suffer, what are we going to do? We're going to go try to change it. Of course we are. We'd be crazy not to, but it's not that. That's not how it works. It's this. It's thought bringing this to life in a certain way. That opens up things in ways that I cannot even describe. You still interact in life and do things, but you're not out trying to make everything and everyone out there be different so you can be happy. You see right through that. That's never going to win. So automatically it takes so much off your plate. Automatically it just takes so much off your mind. There's nothing that has to be changed out there because this is a creative process that's always changing and updating all by itself all the time. So these are some of the ways in which this has been super helpful for me anyway, to really see that this creative process is always happening and there is no life out there that is happening to us. There's no being a victim in this. Yes, we're not in charge of thought. We can't control our thoughts, and thought determines, thought creates what shows up. But so what? If it's always changing and it's always moving, it's like if you had a thing on your phone that automatically gave you a filter and you say, oh, I don't like that filter. Well, big deal. In a minute, the next filter is going to rotate around and you're going to get another one. Again, the bigger picture in this is like there's just nothing to argue with because it's all coming and going and changing and moving all by itself. What are you going to waste all your energy arguing with or trying to change or trying to force? You're not. You're just going to be in the flow of it. Know that it's a mystery. know that it's subjective, know that it's not as it appears. And it's incredible to be just in life, as life, in that flow, watching things show up the way they do, not taking them quite so seriously and personally. So that's how it's helped me. I would love to hear from others how it's helped you, but I think some of those reasons are probably some of the reasons for many of us. So thank you, Lizzie, for this question. Really, I love these practical questions that are like, so what? What's the point? Because I certainly don't want to just talk about this stuff unless it is helpful in some way, unless there is a point and it's practical and it makes sense for us. So I hope this helps it do that for you. Thanks so much. See you guys next Monday.